Okay, so good morning. Today is August 27th of 2024, and we're going to go over yesterday's price action as well as the outlook for today. Um, what was I going to? I just completely lost my train of thought. Okay, so yesterday, right after the morning, uh, yesterday my bias was bearish, and so I expected price to draw lower because we were, we were at the highs and we had already swept, swing highs here, here, and right off the open we swept here. On NQ we hadn't done that. So on the weekly, on the weekly and the daily, actually, we do have SMT between this high and this high here, where these areas swept liquidity at the highs, and these didn't. Again, weekly SMT, daily as well. And so once you see that on the weekly and daily, you start looking for SMT on the hourly. And on the hourly, I noticed a price that swept here with this high here, but this high did not sweep this high. And once again, right after this SMT here, we also had a second stage of SMT, which was this high and this high, and this high and this high right here. And since this one was the lower high, this one was the better of the two. So started looking for shorts, and completely my fault. I totally messed that up, which I shouldn't have. But um, for the 10 o'clock macro, because I was short up here and I actually ended up covering it, which would have ended up paying very handsomely. But that was me because I hadn't really paid attention to detail, which I should have. But you know what? Today's another day. So what happened right after the open? Right after the open, we had expansion lower, break below this, so that's market structure shift. Here we had a draw into this, a sweep into these highs here, and price drew right into constant encroachment of the daily gap right above the weekly SMT, the weekly high that caused SMT, and obviously price drew lower. Also, look at how price closed at 10 o'clock. Look at how price closed at 10 o'clock. So that in itself, like I said, was very bearish, and I was short at the high, but I uh, had I done a little bit more due diligence, I would have noticed this, but I didn't notice the market structure shift. So once price started displacing lower, I immediately knew that I would not be able to catch the full move down, because once price starts doing that, this is first stage right here. Uh, Once price starts doing that, you're better off just waiting for price to settle down, and wait for second stage, which I did. And again, second stage for me is the better of the two. As you can see, I completely messed this one up, but I did not mess up second stage. So again, I was bearish, and I waited for a second stage. So for second stage, I waited for price to retrace higher, and price retraced higher after it swept this low, swept this low. Now, mind you, it also swept this low. That completed the market maker sell model. Okay, the market maker sell model. But because I believe that price would draw into these lows down here, I kept on anticipating that price is just retracing. It's not actually reversing, because here on ES, price still hadn't completed it, and I believe it will today. But again, I looked for displacement lower, then I looked for retracement. I waited for this retracement back into 50% of the range, which was this right here on NQ. Okay, on NQ it didn't. Now this is for the 1300 macro, but at the 1100 macro, I was actually looking for SMT. I wasn't necessarily looking for price to retrace back into 50%. So I waited for SMT, for the first sign of SMT, and I got it right here between this high and this high here, and this high and this low here. My bad. It's actually, is it this one? 30. 1330. Oh, my bad. It's actually this one right here. This high and this high here. Okay, so that is SMT to me. And once we had that, I zoomed into the 15 minute, actually the 5 minute, and I started looking for displacement lower first. But after, right before displacement, what I wanted to see is I wanted to see a short-term low, short-term high get drawn. Um, yeah, a short-term high. I wanted a liquidity sweep on the lower time frames. And here on NQ, we got on ES, we got the sweep here. We got the sweep here. So once we had that, I began looking for an entry on the 1 minute. All right, right here. Yep, right here. This high and this high right over here. And that high and this high right over here. So same times, as you can see, liquidity sweep up here, liquidity sweep up here, lower time frame liquidity sweep. And I had noticed this tiny imbalance right here. And I should have gotten into more, but uh, I actually got in right here at 24, which was this imbalance here. And so I got in here. Now, granted, there was a second entry here, and I covered into I covered once price breached 50% of this range, and I wanted to see lower prices, but as soon as price drew SMT at these lows, between this low and this low, I just covered, and I was happy with the with the profit I gained out of this trade. Now, I could have also taken this trade right here, because on this trade, as you can see, there is SMT on the higher time frame, on the 1 hour actually. Not only that though, but there is a breaker here, a breaker block where price rejected. So there's breaker block here, rejection on the 1 hour, 1 hour SMT, as well as lower time frame SMT, and that could have netted a pretty nice one. But it's my fault completely, because I stayed away from the charts until after 1330, and that was completely my fault. So what happened in the afternoon? Price reversed, and I was actually looking for continuation. And the continuation I was looking for is I wanted to see price sweep those highs. So I began to once again, like on this one, I actually liked ES, because ES was holding above a 15-minute gap. Uh, right, a 15-minute gap right here, same time frame. SMT between these lows and these highs. I mean SMT between these lows and these lows here. I actually got in right here. I got in right here, and I actually ended up covering right up here. Why? Because neither one of these two retraced into 50% of the range. Same thing here. Neither one of these two retraced into 50% of the range, which was down here. And once I noticed that, I began to start doubting myself and doubting the price action, because if I was right, then price would have immediately taken off, because this to me is second stage. Okay, second stage, and second stage is always the one that has the most umph to it. It has the most aggressive move. I missed this one completely, and I actually was present for it, but I wasn't as sold, because I expect the price to draw lower. So since I was still bearish, I actually wanted to catch a short up here if price swept these highs, but it didn't. And I ended up taking the trade right up here, I believe, somewhere up here. Not a bad win, a tiny win, but overall a pretty good day. So today, what am I expecting? Did I delete all of these things already? Yep, I did. Okay, so today I'm expecting for a draw lower. I'm expecting for a draw lower because we still have yet to draw into these lows on ES, and on NQ we have still yet to draw into these lows. This is my target on liquidity for the week, and I do expect a mid-week reversal to go into play, and where I expect for price to draw higher. So we'll see if we get that. On the lower time frame, I do want to see if price swept this dealing range here. If price did, then I would be looking to target the lows, although I do think we're already lower, which I hope isn't the case, but I would expect to trade ES lower to finish this market maker buy model here. On the higher time frame, we do have this market maker buy model, but I am expecting for price to maybe react off of this. So this to me is the low hanging fruit. This would be even better, but we'll see. So let's go ahead and connect and see where price is at the current moment. Okay, all right. So as you can see here, price swept and is now in the weekly gap right here. Okay, so it's still within the weekly gap. The reason why I haven't added this right here, you know what? Let's do this. That way we at least know where it's at in relation to the gap. Uh, Technically it's actually up here because this is right here a liquidity void. So when you have a volume imbalance, I mean, when you have a volume imbalance, within this volume imbalance you actually use the whole body wherever the volume imbalance started, not necessarily the wick, it's the volume imbalance. So we're technically here, down here already, but my target are these lows down here. So I will be looking for that. On ES we are still here, and we did drew relative equal highs, so I want to see how price opens and closes here. The last hour, as you can see, price closed above it, so that might be an indication that my price may want to target these highs, but I'm still looking for price to draw towards these lows. So let's keep going here. I actually told a friend to, because he trades at London, so hopefully he was able to uh, catch that move. Damn, it would have paid nice too, but and I should have been up for it too. Oh well. Um, yeah, I'm starting to 46.50, 47. So there is SMT between these two highs here on the hourly. So that would have been a really nice short. Irregardless, let's keep moving. Okay, so um, let's take a look at the 4 hour. You know what? Let's start at the daily because I don't want to miss anything today. Okay, so we already swept the lows. We already swept the lows, but my weekly objective are these lows here on NQ. On ES, my weekly objective is the completion of this market maker buy model and these lows over here. So let's just go ahead and put these down here. And notice how the new week opening gap is also within this area here. So new week opening gap to me is a magnet, and it'll act like a magnet for price. Okay, so let's go over to the, yep, all right. So for ES is a little stronger than NQ. NQ is already below this gap here, which is this gap over here. Again, so I am looking for price to come down to this gap here on NQ. I don't know if On ES it does, but on NQ I do expect price to come into here. And depending on how price closes today will give me a bias for tomorrow, hopefully. We do have news today as well, so let's take a look at the 4-hour. On the 4-hour, we also have displacement lower, displacement lower. I do want to see how price closes here. If we close very bearish on the 4-hour, then we are going to target these lows here. On the 4-hour here as well. So I want to see how price closes here. On the 1-hour, we already closed pretty, not necessarily bullish, but we did close above that. So that could maybe hint at something. But again, I want to see how price closes on the 1-hour. If it just continues drawing higher, that's even better. We don't have a gap here. We don't have a gap here. We technically don't have a gap here yet because price has yet to close on this one. So the 10 o'clock macro will tell me a lot. So we might get a retracement into these areas and then price draws lower. So that's what I'll be looking for. Let's take a look at the 15-minute or the 30-minute. Okay, so we just traded through here. So I don't need this. We did respect, well, this breaker block over here. So I'll keep that in mind as well. The only way I'll start being bullish is if price displaces higher, and if that is the case, then I'll start targeting these highs over here um, within an imbalance and a breaker block to catch along. And Q rejected this breaker block over here on the 15-minute. I think it's a 15-minute. Yeah, it's a 15-minute. We rebalanced here, drew lower. So once again, completion of the market maker buy model. This could be the rest. So again, this is my objective here. I'll leave this here. Okay. Right here. Okay, so on NQ, on ES, we just completed this market maker sell model here, but we have a much larger one. So again, I want to see how price closes here on the 15-minute. I am looking for price to close down here somewhere. Same thing here on NQ. I am looking for price to close down here. On NQ, not so much because we are already below extreme discount. Yeah, we are already below extreme discount, so it does make sense the price is drawing lower. On NQ, what I would like to see is something along the lines as close down here, then we get a retracement higher into this gap here, we draw lower, sort of like this. But again, I have to wait until this price closes. We do have a volume imbalance here. So this is the only thing I'm going to add for now. Oh no. I believe we do have news today, so I do expect for price to be fluid today. Right there. I think that's the weekly. Yep. All right. Okay, so again, depending on how price closes here, will give me indication as to what to try out during the 11 o'clock macro. I am, once again, this to me would be second stage. So I will be looking for a retracement and then a draw lower. Actually, that's the 30-minute. What am I thinking? Okay, so on the 30-minute, on the 15-minute, we have that close that I wanted. So because of that, I will be looking for shorts after retracement. Let's take a look here. I'm not going to use this candle. right there, that makes sense. Right there, that makes sense. Let's take a look at the 60-minute. Okay, so on the 60-minute, we do have this breaker block here. Same thing here. We have this breaker block here after price sweep this high, so this makes this a breaker. Here, this right here is a mitigation block. So again, I want to see how price reacts in this area. And same thing here. I want to see how price reacts in this area. All right. Yep. I don't need this anymore. I don't think I need this anymore. Let's take a look at the 30-minute just to refine it, make it a little more appealing. Doesn't need it. Doesn't need it. I'll use these two candles. Nothing in the 15-minute. Let's take a look here. We do have this liquidity imbalance here. Right here. And then on ES we have this imbalance here. Okay. All right. So yeah, I like this model. I would like to see this is also a mitigation block here, mitigation block here. Well, not technically a mitigation block. So I would like to see how price reacts after it draws into this area. What I want to see once again is if I come on, if I decide to get in here, then I would want to see a draw higher, a swing high get drawn on the lower time frame into consequent encroachment, displacement lower, and we get in there for completion of this market maker sell model. So 50% of the range, 50% of the range. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for today. Hopefully it happens. If it doesn't happen, I hope it doesn't happen during the 9:30 Judah swing. Uh, during the 9:30 open. If it does, then I might be tempted, and if I do, then I think what I will do is I will take what's the word, micros. Yeah, I'll take micros, and again, I want to see clear displacement for me to target these lows, because as it stands right now, the 4 hour candle closes at 10 and a new one opens, and when that happens I would like to see price already down here. If it's up here and the 4 hour closes, then that means that to me is a bullish sign, meaning that price will likely target these highs up here. So yeah, that's it for now, and I'll update as time goes by. Okay, so we're about to open here, and it does look like maybe we might get that 0930 open. We just traded, we just drew into that the imbalance on ES and Q, not so much. I want to see price draw into 50% of the range, not part of that. All right, come on. I'm gonna take a short up here at 24.25, but this one will be paper, just to not necessarily calm my nerves, but just to give me just so I could get a feel of where prices headed. Okay, so that's unfortunate. It looks like that might have been the entry. Um, the only thing I don't like though is that it didn't retrace into 50%. Now, the other thing that I uh, might have miscalculated was the swing high that I used to calculate that 50%, which may have been this right here. If it was, then that was 50% of the range, and son of a biscuit. Where is it? It's, yeah, right there. Let's go ahead and lock it. All right. So again, I think I might have used it because oftentimes when price is on a trend, it'll retrace into it, and one of them will retrace into 50%, the other one won't. So yeah, I'm really not liking that. Darn. I guess that was it. Let's take a look at the 1 minute. See if we got something here. Maybe we could tap a quick sell. All right, so we have sweep. All right, good. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep my swing high up here if we are retracing higher. All right, so we just tapped 50% on NQ. Okay, so I am short on a micro, but I want to see. Oh no, it's actually up here. All right. All right, I took it off because we we actually hadn't tapped into it, and that is SMT. So I'm just gonna wait. I'd rather just wait. And there it goes. Caught a tiny win there, but I'm not trusting of that just yet, because this swing high up here, it doesn't convince me just yet. I want to see a real swing on the 1 minute. So who knows? That might have been it. There is tiny SMT at the 15 minute. Oh crap! There is SMT at the 15 minute. Darn. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna look for an entry now. There's SMT on the 15 minute. Both tapped into the imbalance. Uh, into this breaker. Okay. All right. I'm sold. Let's take a look. Nope. If ES breaks this high, then which high actually? Yeah, this high right here. Then that SMT is void. No, I was about to. Okay, so this right here is a true swing high, swing low. So now I want to see this swing high get swept. But if it doesn't, then that's because there's already SMT on the 15 minute. And then, so yeah, first stage SMT here, and then second stage SMT right here. So just watching for now.
They give us my signature and price, or like my entry that I look for, then it'll just go without me, right? Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at the 5 minute.
It came up.
All right, so we do have.
But this is also a short week for me too. Like we might stream Thursday.
Yeah, I do like that,
I'm not
but
waiting until afternoon.
I'm just not sold
Thursday.
completely.
Pull the calendar real quick. Price over here.
All right, so
we got 10 a.m. today.
I think there is an entry on the 32nd, but I'm not gonna use that anymore. I want to see what it does here.
Thursday at 8:30. So we might be able to squeeze in a Thursday stream because I won't be leaving until what's it called? The afternoon.
All right. Okay, so I did get in red up here. I'm looking for price to sweep those lows. Beautiful. Okay. All right, so I'm in. All right, so now I want price to close below this area here. I don't want price to come back up here. And my target will be right down here. And my stop is at this high here. What was my entry actually? 90, 94, so right here. Okay. All right, beautiful. Okay, so it does seem like we're drawing towards these lows. I wanted to actually get up here, but there was no balance. The only reason why I got in here was because price rejected this order block here, and as you can see, it only touched consequent encroachment once. So now I'm looking for continuation, and my stop is set. There's a tiny imbalance here, so I don't know if it comes back up to here.
Yeah, I still
This
have
right here to me is a new
little.
breakaway gap.
Well,
I like how this candle closed below here, so just watching. All right, beautiful. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take it down here. That was a quick trade. 4450. Let me set the buy order. So okay, done. Uh, Honestly, I would like it on ES to complete this one, but completely messed this one up. Yeah, I don't. I'm very hesitant to take the 931. To take the 930, but I'm glad I was able to read price right on that one. All right, so ES closed very bearish as well. So a retracement back into this imbalance here is not out of the realm of possibility. On NQ though, I don't want to see it.
just watch it so far.
Let me put a stop at 03, so that gives me a couple of points. The reason I'm putting my stop at 03 is because it's right above consequent encroachment. All right, done. Oh no, that's displacement actually on the 1 minute candle. Okay, so this could be displacement, but I don't want to see, what I don't want to see is I don't want to see price close with flat tops. Um, I just want to see a continued down move. All right, come on. Couple more seconds. Come on.
Well, this kind of hovers here. Let's go look at
This could
gold
be just
and
this
oil.
this tiny little displacement could be was probably candle to trap buyers.
I mean, retracement's kind of expected after those couple days, right? This 4 hour imbalance. There's no script like that out.
Come on.
Got it there.
All right, still nothing. Um, Again, I don't want to see flat tops at these highs. So I'm just watching here.
Checking out previous day's low here. Equal lows.
What, did it already? Yeah, it did take
Yeah, equal
that out.
highs here. Gold.
Okay, so this close inside candle. All right, so we'll see. No.
Kind of chopping around the weekly open.
All right, tiny imbalance here. If it starts closing above here, then I might look to just get out.
But I do like how it's taking out previous day's low.
I don't like my
These low highs.
execution. My execution should have actually been up here, which it was initially. But my dumbass decided to not take it. I mean, to take it out.
And we're coming off of that high time frame array, right? That daily balance. What a set in the where break this high. Alert me.
Okay,
I'm more
perfect.
interested in longs on oil.
Okay, so I took two contracts out, left one with the stop being above this high here. I just want to see how price closes here.
Do you have these equal highs up here?
Depending on how price closes here, we'll either decide to keep holding it or just take it off. A couple more seconds.
We just tap down into here.
All right. So the next one. Eesh, I don't like that. Okay, so I just took it off. Great trade. Shitty execution entry. My entry was actually up here, but I got scared out of it. I won't deny that. But still, pretty good 50-point win. Well, 40, more like 40. Yeah, about 40. So I'm very happy with that. There is news coming out in a couple of minutes at 10 o'clock. So I'm glad that I'm not in this anymore. What I wanted to see is I actually wanted to see.
News in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
13 minutes.
But again, I want to see how price reacts down here. Again, I'm still watching for this 4 hour here. I want price to close down here. I don't want there to be a wick. ES has yet to complete the sell model, so I could anticipate for price to continue drawing lower. So let's just keep watching. This was my weekly objective, so it just might be so that we are reversing now. And we could look to target this high up here. ES is already doing that sort of, but I want to see how it closes. And Q is starting to, I want to see flat tops. I don't want to see up close candles with wicks above. You know what? I'm gonna take it here.
Indices, right? We got YM.
I'm gonna take a short here on ES because I really want to catch
See it, can you?
the move into this area here.
We talked about. This is a 4 hour chart, so
higher time frame, lower time frame.
Nasdaq down, YM up, ES kind of sideways.
Okay, so I'm looking to get in right here. Let's see here. All right, I almost took it, but I didn't. Okay, so now we have displacement, it seems. But I'm still not sold. If price closes above here, then that voids this short idea that I have.
You have some equal highs up here in the 1 hour.
Okay, so that is a void now. Okay, so now I'm looking for a long because I believe this is
we do flip bullish,
this is
right? That'll be where my eye goes next.
Yeah, he's thinking the same thing I'm thinking. So I am seeing signs of a reversal here. I want to see how price closes above here.
Good.
And we are drawing an imbalance here.
Essentially these lows here.
This whole area right here is the imbalance. So I want to see price trade into this area here. If In fact, we actually closed this way. Do not close this tiny little gap, please. And looks like we might.
That's not looking too bad.
Actually, no, that's not. That's not.
From this little
It's
imbalance
actually.
here, I want to see how that gets respected.
Yep, right there. That's the imbalance. Darn. You know what? I'm gonna get long. I'm gonna get long. On NQ. All right, so I'm long on NQ. I want to see how
Also,
price
want to watch this
closes
little
above
5 minute
here.
right here. We basically
Come on.
closed above.
Beautiful.
Then my eye's going up here to this swing high, right?
All right, so I'm long on NQ. Come on, draw higher. Okay. We are drawing higher. Beautiful. Okay, so why did I get long here? Because this right here is an institutional order flow entry drill, and my stop is if price runs these lows here. I actually entered a couple of ticks above, like right here. So let's look for that. Actually, that's not it.
I'd love to come up here, right, on the 5 minute. I'm basically viewing that.
We got an immediate rebalance.
Proper, right? That'll be like my middle time frame market structure shift. I want to end too early to try and call bottom yet.
Yep, immediate rebalance. Okay, so now I don't want price to close below this area here because we are here.
Right here. Top of that daily for value gap.
All right. This one would have been good too.
I've been watching this high right here. I want to see kind of what goes on in here.
We do have a tiny imbalance here. If it doesn't get filled, that's even better for me. Market structure shift right here.
Yeah,
so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one more. If price comes back into this area here.
Plot those. Opening gap.
All right, beautiful.
It's back on.
And my target is going to be 50% of this range. Where's 50% of the range? I wish it would have gone in more. Where is it? Right here. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. All right. So now I'm not too worried. We just hit 50% of the range, so now I want to see how price reacts there. I'm already way in the money, so not worried. Oh, beautiful. All right. Damn, I read that really nice. What was I gonna do? Okay, here it is. Okay, on the 15 minute. Okay, so on the 15 minute, we reacted very bullish after these lows were taken. If you look at the 15 minute, we closed. Each time we swept those lows, we closed above it. So once we swept this low here, look at how we closed. Okay, so that is a bullish sign to me, so I'm going to keep that there. Very nice. Five more minutes until the 15-minute close. And once again, this right here is the 4 hour. So again, I want to see price close above this. At this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my stop at break even. Actually, no, I'm gonna give it some room because we do have news at 10 o'clock. Very nice. This right here is the breaker block I was paying attention to earlier. We already pierced through it, so yeah, I'm sticking by this. The only thing I wish is I wish I would have added a lot more, but that's fine. New week opening gap is my target area. What was my entry actually? It was 97, so right here. Yep, right here. 4 more minutes on the hourly. Again, I want to see price close above this blue shaded area here. We already pierced it, and that's enough. All right, let's take a look here. Okay, so I'm gonna put my stop here at constant encroachment, right below it actually. So at 82. So I'm risking 18 points to try to catch the bulk of the move. Um, yep, that's what I'm gonna do. All right.
But we are gonna reverse.